Back today. This is nurse practitioner Jenny, and today she's going to be our model. So I'm really excited because we've been really wanting to do this treatment for a long time. We're going to be doing a chin augmentation on her because you can see that she's a little sunken in on her chin. We're also going to do some jawline strengthening, and that's going to help her side profile and elongate that. So having a long jawline, good strong chin is a very youthful look. So I'm really excited. Super excited. We're going to be using 3 syringes today. This is Radiesse, Lyft, and Defyne. The Lyft and the Defyne are going to go in the chin and in this front part of the jawline, and then the Radiesse is going to go in the back. So the first part of this is I'm going to strengthen up her posterior jawline using Radiesse. What's important about this first injection is I'm going to feel where the angle of her mandible is right here. I don't want to overshoot it. There is a safety zone here that I'm going to protect, so we're not going to be putting filler up in here. So right in here, there's that little notch right there. And she has been topically numbed and prepped. Go ahead and close your eyes. Okay. And you're gonna let me know if you feel anything electrical or any zingers. All right, here is a poke. And just carefully putting this down right on that bony angle there. And you might hear a little kind of crackling and gurgling. That's just the product rumbling through. And I'm doing little, tiny little strips of this filler. This is a calcium-based filler. This is really the perfect filler to go in here and give this strength. Okay. Now I'm going to put some pressure on that so you can see already.
Honestly, didn't feel a thing.
Well, and that's good. I mean, there's lidocaine in the syringe, and you've got the topical. Yeah, it will be tender for a few days, sometimes even longer, because the filler, there's a muscle that comes down and kind of attaches along this bony prominence right here, which can make it tender. So, but you can already see by building that out, and look how simple that was, just giving that strength there. Okay, now that was pretty simple. I'm going to stop. I haven't quite used half a syringe, but I know your other side is a little shorter than this side, so I'm actually now going to switch products. Coming in with the Defyne, and you can see this kind of like little swoop up right here, so I want to also strengthen that. And that's right where the facial artery comes out, so I'm going to pull this out. Here we go. Here's a little poke. And I give this little safety check there. And again, just putting in some strength there, right along the jawline. Pulling that back. Beautiful. This very rarely, if ever, bruises too, which is nice. That looks really good. Okay, there's still a tiny little notch there. I'm gonna come a little bit more. Here's a poke. You're doing really good, Jenny. So bruising isn't really the issue in this, but tenderness is, which Jenny will be able to take Tylenol over the next few days, and that'll help. We put the Radiesse here. I've put the Defyne here. We're going to go right here now. I've switched products. I've got Radiesse and Lyft now in my hand. This is called a little pre-gel sulcus here, and she's got a little bit of an indent that I'm going to actually fill in a little bit, because the goal here is to give the illusion of a nice, long, straight jawline, okay? Here's a little poke. You felt that a little bit? Stay nice and still. And just putting a little bit of, you felt that a little bit.
A little more than
maybe you weren't as
yeah.
maybe you weren't as numb there.
Not bad, but
little.
I could just feel a little pressure more.
Okay, now I'm going to go on your chin. I want you to let me know if you feel any kind of buzzing sensation, because you do have nerves on both sides here, but we're going to start on this side. Okay, here's a poke. This chin muscle too is a little dense, so it's a little bit here. Reposition this.
just taking my time pushing the product. It's not a fast push. It actually helps. The slower I push the product, the less pain. And I come a little bit more right in the front. Here we go. Doing good. Just putting a tiny bit more for that front positioning there. All right. Woo, that looks good. Okay, so you can see already that looks a lot stronger on that side. Little bleeding, we're just gonna hold that. Looks good. Okay, so we're gonna start this side. I'm feeling where her bony angle is. Okay, right there. The mandible there, and I'm gonna strengthen. Here's the gap that I'm shoring up here and elongating that. So again, we're gonna use the other half of the Radiesse syringe here. Here's a poke. That's a good position. And put down little threads of this filler. This filler is made of calcium. It's a nice thick filler. And it's really the go-to for this posterior jawline, an area that is often overlooked. So this part here, as we age, this gets real soupy as we age. This lacks volume here and strength here, so it's really an area that, in terms of dermal fillers, we're doing a lot of. Let me fill that. All right, I'm going to come at this angle. Here we go. Good. And there's lidocaine in the syringe. She's got some numbing. Doesn't mean it's completely pain-free. There is, we're down to the bone on the muscle here. So it does kind of feel weird, but that looks really good. Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, but it's totally tolerable.
Yeah, with the topical numbing. Okay, there's the Radiesse in there. And we're going to give this actually 4 weeks before I bring her back to look at the final pics. You can see by putting that Radiesse in there, that gap there is way less. Okay, now I'm switching products. I've got my Defyne there. Here's where the facial artery comes through the notch here. You can actually see facial vein right there. So I'm going to go right here. Here's a poke. And lay down some of this Defyne. The Defyne and the Lyft that I'm using, these are both hyaluronic acid fillers versus the Radiesse being calcium. And hyaluronic acid fillers take 3 weeks to yield final results. So this area will be 3 weeks. The Radiesse will be 4 weeks. So anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks, we'll come back and do the final video. Here's a poke. And the first few days, she'll have some swelling. The swelling back here actually ends up looking kind of real like a nodule kind of swelling for a few days. And then once the swelling goes down, the filler will slightly relax, the body will draw water. And it is important when you have fillers to drink lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's still a little bit of a gap right here. Here's a poke. Right underneath that vessel. I can see the vessel, so I'm going right underneath it. Giving some strength here. Good. And then there's still a little bit of gap further back here. So I'll use the remainder of this Defyne right here to give a little bit more strength to that posterior aspect of the jawline. Building that out. There we go. Ooh, that looks so good. Okay. Go. Look at the length of that that's created. That's beautiful. All right, now I'm going to come right here in this little sulcus and do the remaining of the chin just a tiny little bit. She didn't like it on the other side. Let's see if she likes it on this side. Here's a poke. Good. Just a tiny bit. I figure if I did my singing voice for you, it wouldn't hurt as bad. Okay. There,
No one asked me to sing, please. Yeah, that wasn't bad. It was the other side.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay, now, last but not least, let's do your chin. All right. Here's a poke. And let me know, again, if you feel little zingers, because I am working near a nerve. So anytime there's nerves, we got a nerve bundle that comes out on both sides of the chin here. And if the filler, really if the needle hits the nerve, you'll get like a little kind of buzzing, like a bzz feeling.
Didn't feel buzz.
And I do like to know when that happened because I don't want to be digging around the nerve. Okay, there is a total of 3 syringes. That was 1.5 mLs of Radiesse, 1 ml of Defyne and Lyft, so a total of 3.5 mLs. A little bit more put on this side because she was a little bit shorter along the jawline. And you can see she's got some swelling that's starting up just a little bit there. In a few days that'll relax, but that's real typical for that to kind of nod up there and start to swell. But drinking water, taking it easy today, and each day will get better.
Can't wait. It's very numb, but that's just...
That's a good thing.
Yeah. The numbing is wonderful.
Yeah, you have a little bit more swelling starting on this side than you do on this side, but that is totally normal.
You did a few more pokes on that side.
Yeah.
Could be why, huh?
Here I am with NP Jenny. She was our model 4 weeks ago. Our goal was to strengthen up her jawline and create more of a projection on the chin. This is all about balancing her lower part of her face. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. We used 3 different products. You really fared well. You didn't have any bruising. Was there a little tenderness?
Just a little bit, but it was totally tolerable.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so
Go ahead and
happy.
Go to that side. Let's see that again.
Just a nice, stronger chin.
Oh my gosh, it looks so balanced. It looks super good. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.